Hey, what is up, everyone? Wanted to hop on today, talk about the commission lawsuit that was decided earlier this week. If you haven't heard about it, where have you been? For most realtors, a lot of people look at this lawsuit, freaking out a lot of it right now. I want to break it down for you, everything that I've seen, what I'm teaching my team to do, give you some pointers of what you should be doing as a realtor to protect yourself going forward. So much to unpack here. Obviously, it's probably the number one thing in the news as far as real estate goes right now. Despite rates, they're coming down right now too. Just had a great week great week as far as rates went last week. It's kind of getting run over by this case. So let's break it down, talk about what it is and what it isn't, and how you can protect yourself going forward. So I am talking about the Burnett case, Sitzer Burnett in Missouri. So if you're unfamiliar with this case, it was a class action lawsuit saying that there was a conspiracy, keyword here, conspiracy between some big real estate players, talking Remax, Berkshire Hathaway, Anyway, KW, and NAR. And they alleged that these brokers got together, and conspired together to set a higher commission rate, which then pushed up home sales, breaking some Sherman antitrust laws that we have here in the United States. And those sounding some very serious allegations, and they are. As the trial played out, they actually, KW, I should say Anywhere and Remax actually settled or did a proposed settlement before the trial took place, and then Keller Williams, Berkshire, and NAR went to trial and lost. So the jury of 8 people, after hearing the 2-week case, deliberated for about 2.5 hours, and they said, hey, we think there was enough evidence here that you all did in fact conspire. You had a conspiracy to set commissions higher, putting a disadvantage to home sellers, and awarded them $1.7 billion with a B dollars. That's going to treble over $5 billion with a B dollars that should be paid back to people that sold their homes in the state of Missouri. And this is just in the state of Missouri. So obviously a lot of people, a lot of realtors, a lot of real estate companies are kind of freaking out right now because if it wins there, think of just $5 billion over 50 states. That's $250 billion. And it's going to be more than that when you really start factoring in if this trickles out to all 50 states. There's a lot more real estate sold in Texas, California, and New York than there are in Missouri. So the damages in those states could be, tens of billions of dollars alone. So a lot of agents, a lot of brokers starting to freak out right now. And I kind of want to pump the brakes right now and say, hey, couple of reasons not to freak out right now. Okay, first and foremost, everything is super fluid right now. This just happened a week ago from when this video is going to post, and as of right now, the judge hasn't even given their ruling on everything yet. All we know is the jury sided with the plaintiffs, and we don't even know exactly what that's going to look like going forward. The judge still has a lot of power here to set injunctions, to do different things. We don't know if that's going to happen. We have no idea what that's going to look like. So if you're an agent right now, you should be freaking out because, well, A, we don't know exactly what's going to happen. And B, none of this is anything we can currently control. Everything is out of our control. And if you're going to be an awesome entrepreneur, if you're going to be a good real estate agent, you need to focus on things that you can control. You know what you can control right now? Being an amazing real estate agent, okay? No matter what happens in this lawsuit in Missouri or the DOJ or whatever happens in any other states, people are still going to buy and sell houses every single day, and they need good agents to be able to do that. So you need to focus on working with your clients and providing the best experience and the most value you can offer them. And this starts off, if you're really worried about buyer's commissions going away, and focus on getting listings. You should be doubling down on listings right now, trying to get as many of those as you can, cold calling, doing ads, whatever you need to do. I have other podcasts or videos going over a lot of different options to get yourself more listings, and double down on that. But more importantly, what you should be doing right now is doubling down on being an amazing buyer's agent, okay? You should be having buyer consultations right now. This is something I told my team over a month ago before this trial even really started. Sit down with every single one of your buyers and start providing value to them from day one. It's way too easy for us as real estate agents to just say, hey, Johnny, saw you want to see 123 Main Street. I'll meet you there. Let's get going. I'm going to set you up on a portal. Let's go. You don't really talk about the process until you start going through it. You got to get rid of that. You have to be done with that. You have to be able to sit down with your clients from day one and say, hey, Johnny, I know you want to see 123 Main Street. Hey, do you have a half hour before or after? I would love to sit down, talk about exactly what you're looking for so I can help you out in the best way possible and provide massive value so that if something does change in how we're compensated, that we are demonstrating value and we're still going to get compensated from our buyers' clients, okay? And we have to be able to determine that and be better agents from that. So step one, you need to start doing that. If you're not doing that already, sit down, provide a crazy amount of value to your clients. Right now, you got to start having that. You got to get those buyer representations in place. I know a lot of people very hesitant on that, but you don't like doing paperwork. Those days are over, and you need to start having conversations about compensation and saying things like working with me is free. You shouldn't have been doing that before because it's not free, and you definitely can't be saying stuff like that now after these rulings and after the changes that we're going to see. So, regardless of what the judge does, if this trial gets appealed, which I'm guessing it will, we're going to start having some changes in our industry. And one of those is, buyers. If you're a buyer agent, you cannot be saying your services are free. Even if you are anticipating getting paid by the sellers, that's still technically, you got to have a better conversation around that, especially if you have broker admins or things like that. Conversations misleading the public, things like that, are what these whole things are stemmed from. And again, I do not agree with the ruling. It's going to do way more damage to the industry than it is going to do good. If you haven't been in real estate for a long time, one of the reasons why we had these cooperative compensations happening from the beginning is so that the public is better represented, okay? So if you go kind of way, way back, probably a couple of decades, when you saw a sign in the yard and you wanted to go work with someone, odds are you were working with that listing agent. That listing agent was representing the sellers. They weren't representing you. A bunch of problems started happening there, right? Buyers started feeling like they weren't getting representation. They were getting screwed over, which is why we switched to this new model where we are providing compensation back to buyers so everybody can have equal representation and someone in their corner working for them. Now, the lawsuit's alleging that, hey, that requirement shouldn't be there, and NAR since then has gotten rid of that requirement, saying, you can offer $0. And I'm hoping this doesn't really catch on. I mean, I don't, from a pure listing standpoint, if you are a listing agent, you are trying to sell somebody's house, you want it to appeal to as many people as you can to get them into the house to help them purchase it. And the fact is that if the neighbor is offering compensation and you are not offering compensation, odds are the neighbor across the street offering compensation is going to appeal to a bigger buyer pool. And that is your job as a real estate agent, to try and attract as many buyers as you can to get them the best prices for the best terms that the seller wants. So hopefully we're going to see little to no effect from this ruling. Now, again, the judge can come in and do different things, but outside of that is outside of our control, whatever happens. And, there's going to be headaches going forward here. And again, you can't be worried about them. If you're a true entrepreneur, you know that chaos equals opportunity, and opportunity is a great place to make money. So there are going to be agents that are going to come out of this and figure this out quickly with whatever does change, whatever does happen in the short term. There are going to be agents that figure it out really, really quickly, and they are going to be able to gobble up market share, and they're going to be able to build a really, really good business going forward. I'm telling you right now, when you kind of look at your market in the next 5 or 10 years, whoever the big player is 5 or 10 years from now is probably somebody that's going to figure out this, whatever we're going through right now. They're going to figure this out quickly, adapt, and go. I pretty much guarantee if you look at your market right now, no matter where you're at, whoever the big players are in your market, they came through the recession that happened in 2008. Okay, maybe they started in 2008, maybe they were going before that, but they survived that chaos and they came out on the other end a dominant force within your market. 5 or 10 years from now, it's going to be the same thing. People that figure out whatever is about to happen and they capitalize on it are going to be the ones with market share 5 or 10 years from now. So you really need to be paying attention to what's happening here and start doing things now to put yourself in a better place. Again, worrying, being scared, those are not things you need to be focusing on right now. Being better agents and adapting to this market change or whatever it is going to set you up for success going forward. And this is exactly what I'm telling my team right now. It's exactly what I'm telling my downline within Real right now is, hey, can't be scared. Things are going to change. And it's probably going to change for the better, honestly. Again, realtors, we have a bad reputation that has probably been earned from people that were licensed well before I was a real estate agent. We're having to deal with it now. And this is going to give us an opportunity to kind of reinvent ourselves, show the public that, hey, we're here for you. We want to make sure you have a smooth transaction, that you are being able to be represented in the best way possible. Unfortunately, this lawsuit is making it a little bit more difficult to do that potentially. There's a few more roadblocks within here, but I truly think in the long term, it's going to be better for the industry as a whole. Now, in the short term, there's going to be changes. There's going to be chaos. Got to pull through it. But 5-10 years from now, I truly think the real estate industry is going to be in a better spot. There's going to be more trust from the public with realtors as far as this stuff goes. We're going to have more in-depth conversations about how we're compensated and how that works. And there's probably more creative ways to get realtors compensated and make sure that you're paid for the services that you are doing, and that nobody feels slighted or that they're paying too much for what's happening. So it's just going to take us time to get there. So again, if you're freaking out about this, don't hunker down, be a better agent right now. Everything is super fluid. Focus on what you can control and realize that most of the things happening in the next month or two are things we can't control. So control, focus, being a better agent, providing the best value you can to your agents and to your clients. And then when this thing blows over, just know there's going to be a lot of opportunity, and it's up to you to seize it. And we're all here to get through this together, whatever it happens to be.